Welcome to Down in the Den. It's your boy Marz, and if you didn't know, it's May the 4th. The Bad Batch, bitches. That's right. I'm so excited for today because today is Star Wars Day, and for a second, I was considering canceling my Disney Plus. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was gone. Loki won't show up until June, and then I remembered, wait a minute, May 4th, Bad Batch, Filoni verse. I'm there, and I'm so excited I came on the trip. Now, before we continue, spoiler warning. If you haven't watched the season debut of the Bad Batch already, turn away. Come back after you watch the episode, because we may talk about a few things in this quick recap that might spoil it for you. And if so, I don't want to see any hate in the comments. So you have been warned. There will be some spoilers. The show opens up with a scene that we had only heard about in Star Wars Rebels, when we heard about Kanan Jarrus's origin story and how the clones turned against him and his Jedi Master, and we actually get to see that on the small screen. The very moment when Caleb, aka Kanan Jarrus, witnessed his mentor, his master, get killed by the clone troopers who served under her. So that was a very, very interesting way to open the show. Even the way that the credits open in the show, with watching the Clone Wars burn away into the Bad Batch logo, was awesome, and something that I was really stoked to see. The pacing on the show is awesome. The tone is actually a bit darker than I expected for animation, but I was totally with it. The characters are great. You have Wrecker, you have Hunter, you have Tech, my personal favorite, you have Crosshair, and of course Captain Rex, and then a new character that's been introduced, but none other than Super Clone Omega. So we've already established a pretty awesome cast of characters in this show. We also get to see the return of a young Admiral Tarkin, or Grand Moff Tarkin, I should say. And with this being right immediately after the Clone Wars, there's a good chance we may see some young Vader in this show, and I'm hoping any opportunity we have to see Vader in any form, I'm down for. Of course, my all-time favorite Star Wars character. So yeah, it was an awesome show. Awesome show. We got to see Order 66 from another angle. We've now seen Order 66 in the Clone Wars movie. We've seen it, of course, in some of the extra content or Legends content. And every time I get to see an opportunity for another angle of Order 66, I'm stoked, because it is one of the darkest times in the Star Wars timeline, but it's also one of the most interesting times, the Jedi Purge, and I feel like there's so much opportunity to explore those years during the Jedi Purge. But we get to see the Bad Batch, hear the Order 66, and we learn why they did not follow the Order. They're essentially mutations, custom designed by Kamino to have certain attributes. For example, Wrecker has excellent strength, almost supernatural strength. You have the leader, Hunter, who has enhanced abilities. Tech is a genius beyond genius. And of course, Crosshairs is a sharpshooter. So each one of the members of the Bad Batch has a special skill which separates them and elevates them above your standard clone stormtrooper. And we hear, as Moff Tarkin is talking to the heads of Kamino and really scouting to see how these soldiers, who are essentially a walking army of 5, can be used to benefit the Empire. We even see them tested with live rounds and showing their ability to break protocol to not only survive, but find a way to win the battle. So it really established in the very first episode that these guys are formidable. And even though it's only 5 of them, they're essentially a walking army, and something to be reckoned with. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of the addition of the new mini clone Omega. She's fine, but it seems like maybe they're trying to do the Grogu effect, or maybe this is something really to draw the kids in, but adding a little kid character into the show. We see this happen a lot with the Star Wars and how they essentially have child soldiers in every movie, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to deep dive into that. Just want to give a brief recap of this episode. But the episode ends with the Bad Batch escaping the Empire from Camino with the betrayal of none other than Crosshairs. Now, early on in the episode, we saw Crosshair really a stickler for following orders, and he's no dummy. He was quick to realize that Hunter let Caleb go, even though Hunter reported that he had completed his orders. We find out that he had wrote or filed a complaint against Hunter for that, and Admiral Tarkin is really putting them to the test to see if they're going to be loyal to the Empire. Of course, they fail that test because they go on a job which they think they're going to be just shooting droids, and we find none other than, that's right, Saw Gerrera, one of the early leaders of the rebel forces, and the Empire really pretty much sent to kill just regular humans, something that the Bad Batch and the rest of the clone troopers really were not used to. So they failed that test, and they were thrown in the brig, and really they used their abilities to do a harrowing escape, Star Wars style, and then we're off to adventures. We have 15 more episodes out of a 16 episode season, so I'm really stoked for this and really excited and really can't wait to see how this story develops. Overall, it was a strong start to the season. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Very good episode. Highly recommend it.